I'm doing Ramble on Spider-Man No Way Home, and I do want it to be known that this will be a spoiler review, and I'll probably put it on the thumbnail in big letters, but I feel that by doing it this way, it'll be better because I'll have a lot more to talk about in terms of a story, and I do feel that enough time has passed and that most of us have seen the film. But if you are a person who does care about spoilers, then, watch any of my other videos until you have seen the film, or scratch it, go and watch the film, and then come back and, join the rest of us in talking about this wonderful film. So, without further ado, I'm sorry if you guys can hear like a scratching in the back. That is my dog. She has a toy. She's kind of chewing at it. Anyway, let's talk about this movie. So, Spider-Man No Way Home takes place immediately after the end credit from Far From Home. And, we follow Peter as his identity has now been uncovered, and, he tries to venture with his friends on how to deal with that reality. And I thought that they captured this so well. And I love that it wasn't completely brushed off. And that it plays a key element into how the multiverse characters come in. I just thought it was a very well done story, and definitely a solid film out of the Spider-Man Home trilogy. And I also felt that, MJ got better in this. Because I gotta be honest, I wasn't really a fan of her character in this series. I just felt like she was always in the background. She didn't feel, important as, like when Kirsten Dunst played Mary Jane. Yes, I know this is a completely different character, but it just didn't have that element. I felt it was missing, but I felt like here she actually presented well enough. She was presented well, and I actually cared about her relationship with Peter, and I actually cared, about her well-being, because I feel like that's what was missing in the previous two films, is that you didn't really care about her character. I didn't. She could have been like any other classmate that he had. She didn't feel central to his story, but here she definitely felt like she was. And I just love that they were able to keep the dynamic between Ned and Peter. I love that their dynamic grew, and that, one of the things that this film did is it really explained the toll that it takes on being friends with Spider-Man, or even knowing his identity. I don't think even in the Raimi films that was really touched on. And I thought that this was very well done. And, I'm just gonna say, the story is spot on. And I also love that when they bring in the characters that we loved, or from the two universes that we, that we recognize, more. I love that they were treated with such respect to those universes, but also that they were treated like main characters to the story. Even Jamie Foxx's Electro had a lot more to do here than he did in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I love that they poked fun at the origins of Electro and Sandman. That was so good. I could watch those two talk all day. It was just so good. And even the way that they were brought in makes sense, and you know, it's not really flawed. I think the only flaw that I have is Doc Ock's his story for coming here, and like just the way that they introduce him kind of creates a little bit of a character, not a character flaw, but a plot hole. And the plot hole I found is that if he was brought from that timeline at the exact moment that his fusion reactor was, turned on, they have the implication that in Spider-Man 2 they say that it will blow up half of New York. So my question is, and maybe someone can, explain it in the comments. Maybe I'm just finding a plot hole that really isn't a plot hole, but wouldn't Toby's Spider-Man and the rest of New York be just blown? Like they would all die, right? Because they say that in that movie, half of New York will blow up. And Toby in that universe would not know how to pull that off. Like, he wouldn't know how to turn off the machine. Like, that's why Doc Ock does it. So I thought that I don't know, maybe that timeline still continues and Spider-Man 3 happens, but I feel like Spider-Man 3 would not happen if he dies in that timeline. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like I said, pulling out a plot hole that's not really a plot hole, and it's like overthinking. But William Dafoe in this movie gave like an Oscar-worthy performance. I don't know how else to say that, because he was so good in this movie. He might have been better here than he was in, Spider-Man 1. Like, that's what's insane about it, is that he was so good. Well, I knew he would be good, but like, that good, that you would like tell everyone, like, the main MVP of this movie is William Dafoe's Green Goblin. I watched this actually December 16th, so I watched this literally like one of the first screenings. And so it was a packed theater. Everybody was cheering, everybody was crying. Now, with these villains, for sure had to come Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And I kid you not, when we got to the part where Aunt May dies and we're gonna go into the final battle, I lost hope. I did. I lost all hope that they were gonna show up. But lo and behold, they do. And I gotta be honest, I had to watch this movie a second time, which I did this past Thursday. And I had to watch it again because I missed the first lines of dialogue for both Andrew and Tobey's Spider-Man. I did. Because the theater just erupted for both of them. And it was so loud. It was so loud that it, like, mind you, I saw this in IMAX. So for a theater to be louder than IMAX really tells you you're doing something right. It's a feel-good movie. It really, really is. And my one friend, she wasn't gonna see it until the week after it came out, and I tried so hard to keep all of her, like, suspicions and all of the spoilers and everything just at bay for her, because, like, I knew that this is honestly like an endgame experience for sure. It had that, like, gravitas to it, and it had that feeling that this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And like I said, when they came on screen, I screamed. So I was part of that. The people screaming as soon as I saw Toby. I was so loud, I lost my voice. I was so loud that maybe I screamed over my own self and I couldn't hear anything. But yeah, it was amazing. That was another thing, is that they played on so many, like, references and jokes, and I loved that they did that, and they incorporated it in a way that didn't feel forced, and it didn't feel like it was put there for not nostalgia. It felt like part of the story. So for instance, Andrew's whole thing about not catching Gwen at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, the way that they implicated that, where Andrew actually eventually catches MJ in this movie when Peter, Tom Holland's character, can't do it, was phenomenal. Because you gave that character the redemption that he needed. Because Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so bad. It was so bad, I hated it so much. I felt so bad for him because he was he was no Toby. For me, Toby is OG. He's the best. Even to this day, still is. But he was presented better here than he was in his own movies. I gotta say that. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in this actually outshines Tobey Maguire's. He was just so good. Like, this was the writing that this character needed. Like, if Amazing Spider-Man was going to be successful, this is what you needed, was writing like this, where his jokes were on point. And, you know, like, they gave him liberty with how he delivered it. And even his interactions with Toby were honestly so surreal. Because you never thought that these two actors would appear on the same screen in the same character. Like, it just felt so unfathomable. I remember when I was a kid and I saw the Spider-Man cartoon. You know, the one, I think it's like, actually I think it is the last episode of the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s. The Spider Wars. When I saw that episode, I just wished it was reality. I really did. For us to get that reality, it was a dream come true. It honestly was. And I love that they hint at Miles, because he was the only one missing to the party. I do feel like Venom was a bit of a cop-out, though. I wish we got more Venom, and I wish that Tom Hardy actually made more of an appearance in the film. Especially since it was suggested at the end of Let There Be Carnage that he would be in this universe. I mean, the bit he did get was good, but I do wish he maybe like made an appearance and helped out or something. But two things this film did. Not only does it set up Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness well, but it did what I said they should have done for No Way Home's trailer, which was for Shang-Chi. They should have put the No Way Home trailer before Shang-Chi or after, because then people would want to go see see the teaser trailer. I felt like that was literally how you got people to, butts in seats, as the expression goes. And for sure, I did not expect to see the Multiverse of Madness trailer at the end of the movie. I thought that was really well done. Yeah, guys, I think that's all I'm gonna say on this movie. For sure, you have to watch it if you haven't already. I'm sure some of you have, and you have the same thoughts and feelings as I do, that this film was honestly best film of 2021. But also, maybe best Marvel movie in a long time. Because I feel like Shang-Chi was good, but I don't think they was like as good as the Avengers, or as good as, like Captain America Winter Soldier, or anything, or Thor Ragnarok. It was nothing like that. This movie for sure was like that. 100% this movie. You guys are gonna see on my channel. I'm gonna buy that movie day one, 4K. You already know. I didn't get the chance to see Matrix Resurrections yet. I was supposed to do a review for both movies here, but I never got the chance to see it. So maybe someday I'll do a review on it, but I do want to do a what I got for Christmas video. I think that'll be fun. I did get a couple figures, so yeah, I'll give you guys like a brief update on what I've gotten and what you guys can expect on the channel. Apart from that, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. And I just want to say, please like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Blitz saying